So the thing is that I have limited space in my house, but I've been using my dining room table for all of my Cricut crafting. I have a small amount of space where I can just wheel this cart in and wheel it out, or I could wheel it to the garage if I needed to have some extra space if guests happen to come over, which is rare these days. And if you followed me over on Instagram, you know I had an ordeal about this cart. It came from Michael's. However, when I tried to wheel it over the carpet, one of the wheels broke off the bottom. It was a big ordeal, but I ended up getting a replacement at no cost, and I now have this one, so I don't wheel it around as much. So if you're going to get this cart, I would highly recommend not moving it. It has wheels. It probably works better with less weight. I've probably overloaded it, and probably on different surfaces other than carpet. So keep that in mind, but there's lots of carts out there that you can try. And this just works perfect for small spaces. I wish I had a craft room. I'm just not that lucky. So I want to walk you through it. I also have links down below if you want to go check it out. On the very top of my cart, it's a really large space. In fact, I could probably put 2 Cricuts on here, but we're trying to watch that weight limit, right? But I have my Cricut under here. This is a cover that I found on Amazon, and of course, it's in purple. It's a little snug. I wouldn't say it's the best fit, but it does work really well. There's also 2 pockets back here in the back, which are great if you wanted to store some supplies like pens or something like that, the power cord, and then it just wraps around. There's also 2 straps that wrap underneath the Cricut just to cover it. Now I'm using this just to protect from dust. I'm not using this to carry it. I'm not using it for any other purposes, just to keep it clean. It just slides right off. The one downside to having the cover is that you can't put anything in the side cups on the Cricut. So I do have a couple of blades in here right now, a glue stick, but you can't have anything that goes over or else the cover won't fit. So what's great about this cart is there's actually this side piece right here that comes up. So you just lift up the side table, and then there's this little arm underneath that you extend out. Gotta move my mats first. And slide it underneath the top of the table. And now you have an extension. Now this is not gonna hold a lot of weight, but maybe it's gonna hold some papers, a pair of scissors, something lightweight, but it gives you some extra space to put things if you need a little extra room. I wouldn't recommend using the Cricut on top of this. It's just a nice storage space for it, but you can also put other things here if you need a little extra space. And then when you're done, it easily closes back down. So now I'm going to show you what I have hanging from the cart, and then also what's in each of my drawers on the bottom shelves. So one of the things about keeping a cart like this is you definitely need to limit yourself on supplies, or else you're going to get way bogged down. So starting over here, we have the Cricut Easy Press, and I actually bought the case from Cricut because when it was on sale, it was the same price as the Amazon store one, so like the generic ones from the Amazon store. So I invested in this, and I'm really happy that I did because it is a really great quality case. It's got a nice carrying handle for you to take it around that's adjustable. There's a pocket on the front, and then you open it up and your Easy Press goes inside. There's also a pocket on the back. This is where you supposedly can put your Easy Press holder. However, I haven't been able to fit it in here. So this slides easily on the shelf and it fits it from top to bottom, which is why I like it. So I ended up putting my Cricut pad that keeps it from scalding the table next to it. Then we have my Cricut toolbox. This is the toolbox they give you when you first buy your Cricut. It just has a couple of manuals and things in there, and I just keep it here to keep everything all together. And then I have a roll of Dollar Tree contact paper to do some transferring, although I haven't used this roll just yet. It's kind of long, but it fits here nicely. On this side, I have a couple of 12 by 12 scrapbooking containers, but on top of that, I have this little pouch. And this little pouch is a scrapbooking pouch that is basically holding all of my paper scraps in them nice and flat. Then I have 3 containers. Each one of them has a little something different. This first one is all of my vinyl scraps. I keep my scraps if I think I'm going to be using them for other projects, because you never know when you're gonna need a little piece of something. So that's where everything goes in here, and I keep it in here so it doesn't get smushed. This next one is cardstock. This is my 12 by 12 cardstock. I have 3 different pads in here, and this is probably the most weight and is what's really holding down my cart. So I probably should use some of this so that it's not so heavy. But I have my 12 by 12 cardstock in here, and I've actually used this watercolor paper one quite frequently. I love that, but I've only bought them when I see them on sale. Then my next one are my specials. So these are my special papers or projects that I really want to try that I haven't been able to try yet. I have in here this leather piece. It's from the Cricut brand that I really want to try out and see how that cuts. Then I have this special foil embossed paper, which is really, really pretty. I got this on clearance, I think at Joann's, or maybe it was Tuesday morning, one of the two. So it's more of a specialty paper versus just a cardstock. Then I also have this acetate, which I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it. If you have some good ideas on how to use this or things I should try, please let me know, but it looks so much fun. And then I have a package of permanent vinyl that I bought on Amazon that I'm not 100% sure I like a lot, but it's in there. So all three of these containers fit nicely right in this spot. However, I said the paper one's a little bit heavy. Just make sure you don't put too many things inside there, but they all stack right on top of each other. You could even label these if you wanted to, and these cases go on sale all the time. Moving down here, I have the two larger drawers. The first one is all of my new vinyl. This is my stash, you guys. So in here I have rolls, all different brands to try, all different colors, and it's ones that I haven't opened yet, but I have some specialty ones in here. I just like to have some on hand just in case I'm going to need them for projects. I check here first before I go and buy it, and that feels good knowing I got it at a good price, you know? Then I have my large roll of transfer paper in here too. Down in this bottom drawer, I actually have your standard size cardstock. And once again, I try to keep just kind of a stash of this in different colors, especially the colors of the rainbow. It's really, really heavy, so I probably put too much in here. I also use this for kids crafts too, not just for the Cricut machine, so it's also good to have a couple of colors of cardstock available for the kids for those projects that they have to do. Now we're getting on to a lot of other stuff in these drawers on the side. There's 4 drawers here. This first one is housing my open vinyl that I keep rolled up on the original cardboard roll. So it's kind of a mix of styles, so that's why I keep the original packaging so I remember which brand it was and which style it was in case I needed more of that specific one. But I have the ones that I've used and open in here, which is quite a bit. I've done a lot of vinyl. Now I know a lot of people store these in different ways. This just really works well for me because I don't have a lot, and I try to use that first. This one I have the same thing plus a couple of new rolls that didn't quite fit in this other drawer over here, and then underneath it I have my flat 12 by 12 vinyl. Some of these I bought at the Target dollar section, definitely around holidays because you can tell it looks very Christmassy, and then some of it I purchased at Hobby Lobby or at Michael's and have just put here and laid it flat so it stays nice and flat. This one has a mix of a little bit of everything. I have my light pad for weeding, which I also use for diamond painting, so I use this with both of those hobbies. I have my Cricut cord, which I also sometimes store up with my Cricut on the top shelf. Just kind of depends on the day and my mood. Then I have a couple of blades too I haven't opened yet, but the ones I want to try, plus another blade here. I'm not sure which one this is. And then I have my paper cutter for when I want to cut off large amounts of excess of cardstock or vinyl. I have some muslin, which I plan on using to help my iron on. If you guys know if muslin's good for that, let me know. I just saw it at Walmart and bought it, and I haven't used it yet. You can see it's not open, but I'm really wanting something to put down over my vinyl to help protect it when I do my iron-ons. Then we have my stash of markers and pens. I usually buy these on clearance or on sales. And then I have my heat guide and then a couple of other Cricut manuals in here. And real quick too about the pens, I do normally when I'm working store those in my Cricut machine in the little cup holders, but because I can't put my cover on it when it's not in use, I just put them here. All right, and this is the bottom drawer. I call this my drawer of inspiration. First of all, I have my heat pad here. I have the 12 by 12 heat pad, which I love and use all the time. But then I have a whole bunch of things that I want to try to do. So for example, this felt is from Daiso, and I want to see how it goes in the Cricut machine to cut felt. Daiso has some pretty nice stuff, and so I grabbed a couple of these in the rainbow colors, and I want to try it just to see if it works. I also have a fabric sample. This one's from the Dollar Tree. Once again, out of curiosity, is it going to cut this really, really well? Because we can make some really cute things for a very affordable price because it's from the Dollar Tree. So I want to try this. Then I have several different packages of things here towards the bottom. I have the printable sticker paper. This is from Cricut too. Definitely want to see if this works. This is cling vinyl for window clings. I maybe should do a whole video on this one. And then I have a chopping mat from the Dollar Tree, which I saw somebody do this somewhere else, and I've got to try it. I've got to try this project with this one to see how that fares. These are my experimental things that I want to do projects on, so maybe you guys can inspire me to get on those videos for you, because of course I had to take you along with me on that ride. For my mats are on here too. Can you believe it? You probably saw them when I lifted up the side table, and that's where I have them stored. I actually found these magnetic hooks, which are amazing because they kind of move when you need them to. You just hook it on with the magnet, goes right onto the Cricut cart, and then the hook is going to move back and forth, which is perfect for this side table. So I actually have 2 on this side. One is for my 12 by 12 mats, and I'm fitting about 3 or 4 on here, and it's totally fine. The weight works. I think the weight limit's like 5 pounds on these hooks. And then the other one is for my larger Cricut mats, which I actually haven't even used yet. I bought them by accident because I thought they were a different size, but I'm keeping them because you never know when you might need them, but it just works well. So I have this one towards the back, and then I have the 12 by 12 towards the front, and when I move down my table, the hook actually adjusts and kind of falls down, so it lets it hang off the side. Over here on the other side, I have the same hook hook set up, except I have one of those pouches. The other pouch used to be here with my paper scraps, but it no longer is. I have this blank one with nothing inside it, but I plan to put things in there eventually. And then I have my brayer, which I mostly use for diamond painting, but you can also use it for the Cricut projects. So I have that hanging here on the side too, with that same style of hook. So as you can see, everything fits pretty compactly and I'm really happy with it. And I think it's just the perfect space. I should also note that all of my other tools, the scissors and everything, the weeding tools are all inside my Cricut and the little storage compartments on the door. And I don't have very many of them, but they all fit in there nicely. So that's my Cricut cart. I am really happy with how it all comes together in one small space, and it kind of prevents me from going overboard and buying too many things. Is there such a thing as too many things? Probably not. But then I can also wheel this away, put it away when I don't need it, and still pull it right back out if I want to do a project real quick. Usually work on my dining room table that's right here behind me. And so now what's only left is to actually do some more projects. This summer I did 0, very sad. So I want to do a couple of those projects that are in my fantasy must-do drawer, and then a couple other that I have in mind. I just want to try things. I want to see how they turn out. If you have something that you think I should try, let me know. I am game for anything. I really want to experiment with this and to see how crafty I can get. I'm not by any means an expert, but I do try my best. So anyway, subscribe if you want to see more projects. I would love it to have you here watching me, probably making a fool of myself trying to do these projects, but I would love to have you here following along. I'll see you guys next time.